Today I want to share with you two really easy projects that I did this past week. The first project is this Go Power solar controller, and it's the one that we have is working fine, but a little backstory is that when Pleasureway switched from AGM batteries to lithium batteries, they did not actually switch to a controller that was meant for lithium batteries. Now, that's not a safety issue or anything like that. It's really a matter of one that is compatible with lithium will allow you to charge your batteries to their full capacity. And according to Phil Stover, who posts a lot on the Pleasureway forums, he says he estimates about 7% increase in battery capacity. And but I also spoke with Doug Tucker, who said he thought it was more like 10%. Either way, we want to get as much as we can out of those, especially now that we have the compressor refrigerator and we're working off the 12-volt system. So this idea, actually, I got this idea from Jim Bardis. We met up with he and his wife Jeannie when we were out at Moab this last fall, and so I really appreciate knowing about this. And it was he said it would be an easy project. It was kind of a plug and play thing, and so I thought I'd tackle that. Any Pleasureway models between 2016 and 2019-ish is probably when they made the switch over to this one. And maybe that's when Go Power actually came out with it. So, you know, it might be something you're interested in, but if you don't have any problem with your batteries, then I probably wouldn't do that. But before you tackle any kind of electrical job, and I'm not an electrician, I really am not knowledgeable about these things, make sure you take off all your jewelry, which I did before I did this job. This is my second take. And make sure you disconnect the battery. There's a key in the back of the van. You want to disconnect that. You want to cover up your solar panels, and the reason you do that is there's direct current coming from your solar panels to your solar controller, and you need to break that. You also, just to be safe, I also turned off the battery switch that is right inside the door as you come in, and I also checked it with a voltmeter to make sure there's no current going through, and I'd be safe. So let's jump over and take a look at how we did this. Okay, the first thing you need is one of these Robertson bits. I've talked about these before. They're Canadian, and this is a number 1. So you want to make sure you have this with any Pleasureway or probably any RV made in Canada, because they make a lot of RVs up there. So this is a good thing to have. I think we picked this up in Montana, didn't we, John? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to unscrew the 4 screws. Hope it's not too dark in here, but I'm going to just screw in the 4 screws that hold it in, and then we'll turn everything on.
So while you're putting in the screws, why don't you tell everybody about the email you got today?
Well, you know, when you have a YouTube channel, you get solicitations from lots of people in China. Usually it's China. Usually, they want you to sell their product. They'll send it to you for free if you'll do a video. So this morning, I tell them no, because I don't need to do that. But I got an email this morning from somebody who wanted me they wanted to send me a hot eye massager. a hot eye massager. Like everybody needs an eye massager, just get a washcloth. But then I started laughing because maybe 6 months ago or so, I got somebody who wanted me to sell their swimsuits. And it's like, do they know I'm 66 years old? I don't think I want to be putting on bathing suits. But then John reminded me that our grandson, this last year, we went down to the lake at Lake Tahoe. And I said to him, he's 8 years old, I said, is it okay if I wear a swimsuit? And he said, oh no, you're too old to wear a swimsuit. So that was funny. But I will say, the one solicitation that was very tempting was just a month or so ago. They contacted me from, got a contact from Jackery. They're the ones that make those batteries, and they wanted to send me a 1,000 watt or 1,000, is that what it is? Yeah, 1,000 watt battery. So you might have seen a lot of videos on YouTube that month, people doing the Jackery battery thing. But if you ever want to see a really good review of the Jackery, then go to Hobotech. This guy knows his stuff, and he tests everything, and he does a really good review. But that would have been nice to have that 1,000 watt Jackery battery with the solar panel. But that's not my thing. But it's okay if it's your thing. It's just not my thing. Oops. Uh-oh. What does George at Humble Road call that thing you got to put your nuts and bolts in? What does he call that? Maybe he calls it a nut bucket. I don't know. Something like that. Now, the next project was also a tip from Jim, and I really appreciate it. And it's a switch out of the faucet. And I filmed this several weeks ago, waiting for John, who was at a doctor's appointment. Having the van during these times has been absolutely wonderful. For example, I'm in the van right now, obviously, and John is in this little medical center having some minor surgery done in his hand. He has something called trigger finger. And so it's going to be, I'll probably have to wait 3 or 4 hours, but I have the van, I have everything I need here. I brought some lunch, and I've just finished up editing a video. And I also brought with me something to install. I didn't bring the tools, but I think I can do it all by hand. This is that faucet end that Jim told us about, Jim Barta told us about when we were in south of Moab. And it allows the sprayer to swivel around the sink. So I'm going to install that right now, and I'll, I'm sure it's very straightforward, but I'll show you how I do it. But I also want to say that this device, so when I ordered it, apparently you cannot ship this to California, and I'm guessing it's because we have, water restrictions. Obviously, we want people to conserve water, and this may be something that on a regular kitchen sink would be wasteful. Obviously, in the van, we have a limited supply. So you may have to divert this to someone out of state before it's shipped to you. Just wanted to mention that. So I'm going to go ahead and install it. Now, the first time we removed this, it was really quite difficult, and we had to use a couple of wrenches. So if you're removing it for the first time, be sure you wrap it with a cloth or something soft so you don't damage this chrome finish. It comes with this adapter, but you actually don't need it on this particular faucet. It also comes with this extra black washer, but there's a white washer inside. I don't know if I'll need the black one. And it just screws right on. I'm going to do it hand tight and see if I have a leak. Well, that couldn't have been easier. So if you have a 2019 or older Pleasureway with this same faucet, this is a great addition. So it's now December, and when we got back from our trip, we had the van serviced. We had an oil change, and I always send our oil over to Blackstone Labs to have it analyzed. We're waiting for the results, and I'll share those in some future video. And there's just a couple of little issues that came up with the van. It's probably the dirt roads we drive on, a lot of bumping. but maybe some of you have a suggestion for me on a fact that a couple of screws have come loose, and as I continue to try to tighten them in one of the cabinets, I realized that the material behind them, you're just not getting any bite anymore. And so I tried the tip about putting in a toothpick and using that, but that's not working either. So if you have any ideas, I mean, yes, I could glue it in. I don't actually think it's not really holding up any weight. I think it just holds up a piece of masonite or something that's attached in there. I'd rather not glue them in, but if that's what I have to do, then I'll do that. And then the other little thing was we had an issue with the latch, and we're going to take that in, and it's under warranty, so I'm not worried about that. It was just a minor thing, and until we get that fixed, we'll just, it's just a little fiddly right now, but we'll get that fixed. And in the next, I don't know how long, maybe it'll take me a week or two to get around to doing a final wrap-up of the Utah trip, because I want to share with you all the places we camped and maybe any tips that I have, recommendations, things like that. So I will be sharing that in a future video. And here, as we approach the holidays, I'm not really sure whether I want to take a break, because I'm really feeling like I need a break. I got lots of projects to work on, lots of little things I want to do in the van. I want to maybe redo my curtains, at least the attachment area. I'm trying to figure out the best way to handle that. And so anyway, I don't know what my schedule will be like, but I may actually even post a video that I did a couple of years ago that was just a private video I did for the family, but I might share that. I hope some of you found this useful, and I thank you very much for watching. Please stay safe, and we'll see you soon.